Hi everyone, let's go ahead and get started. This is the Unmanned Systems and Robotics Directory webinar. Thank you for your time today. My name is Chris Maley. I am the VP of Knowledge Resources here at AUVSI. You should see my contact information on the screen right now. As background, over the last several years, AUVSI has invested in research to better support our members in the community. You may have seen some of our new information and presentations and documents we give through the many conferences we attend and speak at. Especially included our recent report on the economic impact of integrating UAS into the national airspace. For more information about a lot of that information and our research, go to auvsi.org/knowledge and check out our blog. Here's the AUVSI webpage, and you can just click here down to knowledge, and that will bring up the blog. A special note in here are 3 reports we recently uploaded. One on unmanned maritime vehicles, one on unmanned ground vehicles, and one on unmanned air systems. And that showcases a lot of the data that we're going to be talking about in this webinar. As part of the research that we've been collecting open source information on every unmanned system and robotic product that we could ever find. The Unmanned Systems and Robotics Directory, which we're talking about here, is a culmination of that effort. As of noon today, I did a quick poll on the data, and we had 3,966 platforms from 1,202 companies. We split that data into 3 domains, air, ground, and maritime, to give you easier and more affordable access to only the information you need. Looking specifically by domain, we've got 2,492 air platforms, of which 1,644 we'll see today, and I'll talk about why that is there, from 680 companies. 715 ground platforms from 297 companies, and 759 maritime platforms from 225 companies. We're offering the directory as an annual subscription where you can subscribe to an individual domain, either air, ground, or maritime, or subscribe to 2 or 3 domains at a discount, paying only for the information you need. As part of your annual subscription, you'll receive unlimited access to all the data that we'll talk about here contained in the directory. Weekly email updates, including a list of new platforms and new companies we've added every week. Large discounts on other AUVSI products. We've got 2 very interesting reports coming out soon. One is a very large report on unmanned air systems in agriculture, and one is a slightly smaller report on unmanned air systems in oil and gas. We'll also be doing specific domain reports throughout the year that we'll be giving to you free as part of your subscription. We're finishing up some research right now on U.S. DoD acquisition specifics over the next several years. We went through all the U.S. DoD background data and all the sales data, so we'll be sharing that with you. That'll be coming up probably next week, maybe the week afterwards. And finally, you'll have access to the knowledge team for any specific questions you may have. And here is our contact information here. You can always contact me or myself, or Bill Rauch or David Klein. So let's go ahead and jump right into the product. Once you subscribe, if you haven't subscribed, you can click right here and subscribe. Once you are subscribed, either way, you click login. Here you log in with your regular AUVSI login. You'll see I'm already logged in. And then you come to this base subscription page. Here we've got air platforms, ground platforms, and maritime. If you haven't subscribed to a certain domain, it will say subscribe instead of explore. And on this page, you'll note there's some bullet points here. And here we're going to update, we'll put in information about regular updates. If we add a bunch of new platforms or if we have a new capability we're showing off, we'll put it right there so you'll see it every week. So let's jump right into the air side. Here's the basic air search page, and all 3 domains have the same basic format, but we'll walk through ground and maritime too. So air looks like this. You can search by name if you know the name of your platform, by organization, by country, and you see we have a large list of countries available. We have information for certain things that you may not understand. Market category, we have 5, academic, civil, commercial, consumer, or military. And that is AUVSI staff call about how is this product being marketed? Is it marketed to these specific areas? And then there's application you can search for. Again, there's information button if you need. And this is about 40 or 30 different applications that AUVSI staff has decided this product is probably applicable to this area. So if you're just interested in ISR or just interested in explosive ordnance disposal, you can search on those areas. So if we go ahead and do a basic search, if you put no information on there, you just get every platform. And again, this is the 1,644 platforms I talked about before. We've got almost 2,500, but we're still importing all of that data. And so over the next several weeks, you'll see this number go up very quickly. It's gone up about 35. I think we've had 1,607 that we were showing at the show. So that number will go up real quick over the next couple of weeks. So here you see the basic information about platforms, platform name, primary organization, and the country. And you can click on a specific platform. And here again you see the name, the company, where they're from, that market category I just discussed, the application I discussed. Link to the website. If you want to go directly to the website, you can click, and there's the company's website. This isn't available for every platform, but every platform we know of that we have that website link, we put it up there. A basic description, some size properties, length, width, height, wingspan. Note of comments. If there's more information, we'll throw that in there. Performance properties, power and propulsion doesn't exist or wasn't available for this platform, so we don't have it in there. All types of information. And finally, there's a platform status. There's a source for everything that we do, so you can go directly to the source as desired, so you know where the information came from. With every active platform, a couple times a year, we make sure it's still active and updated on the platform on this website, so you'll know the information is current. So we're walking through probably about every 3 to 4 months, we'll be walking through every active platform. However, if you ever have any concerns about the data, again, you can go right to this link and see the direct source, or you can just email me or call me and we'll take care of it. I had a customer this morning who was asking about a specific ground platform, and so we updated the information so he had the latest and greatest. So if we go back to this page, again, this is the results page. Say you want to share that information. That's pretty neat. You can just click that platform right here and click the PDF button, and that will PDF that platform. It's a slightly different setup than you saw on the web screen, but it's still the same information. This is all live right now, so this is actually the speed that it takes. So here's that same information on the platform. There's its picture, all the properties we discussed before, and the source. And you can do that for any platform you like here. Additionally, you can download to Excel, and if you want to, you can just select all, and you could actually download all 1,644 platforms to Excel. I cheated and did this right before the show, so here's what it looks like. Again, there's your first platform, Hyperion. If you remember, that was here. Hyperion's right there, and there's the other platforms as they go down. Here's the platforms. It has the organization, websites, domain. All the information you saw before is now in Excel format. So if you don't like or you don't always have access to the internet, you can always download this information in either PDF or Excel format, and you always have access to it, whatever you like. And all the information is here. You'll note that not every platform has every single trait filled out. We captured as much information as was publicly available, but we can't guarantee that every bit of data is filled out for every platform if that information isn't marketed, or for old platforms if it isn't even known. So let's have a little bit of fun with the search. You can always press the back button if you want to go to search, or you can go directory home and back to air platforms. So if we like to, we can limit our platforms just to USA. And so now all the platform countries will be USA. Some companies and some platforms have multiple companies associated with it in multiple countries, so you may see other data in there, and that will show up on the other screen. So we got 802 from the USA. Let's have a little more fun and say, oh yeah, let's walk through the advanced platform search here. What we have here is detailed properties that you saw before: length, width, height, maximum gross takeoff weight, wingspan, payload weight. So that's size properties if you want to vary by size. You can also vary by performance and maximum speed, cruise speed, endurance, range, maximum power, maximum altitude. And then a couple other properties, airframe, and here you see you can go fixed wing, flapping wings, lighter than air, rotary wing, or other. We'll click rotary wing. Energy source is how they get their energy, and propulsion is how it moves forward. So if we limit ourselves to rotary wing, we now see there's 161 matches. So if we're just focusing on those areas, we can filter. Say we only want rotary wings in the USA who have a gross takeoff weight of less than 55 pounds. This is something that this weight is something that the FAA has been talking about, a smaller UAS. And we can filter, and now we can see there's 55 matches, ranging from the new pair drone to all different kinds of products. So that's the basics of search, and that's what's on the AUVSI. One thing I do want to note is I'll note that on the ground platforms. Let's jump over to ground data. Again, you can just click Directory Home, and assuming you've subscribed, you can just click Explore Ground Platforms. So here you'll see the same basic information you saw on the air side. The advanced platform search is a little bit different, just because you don't have a max gross takeoff weight for ground, but you do still have weight and payload weight, other important properties. Locomotion is a little bit different. Here you see tracked, wheeled, legged, or rolling, and yes, there are several rolling UGVs out there. Groundbot from Sweden. It's a pretty cool little robot. I'll go ahead and reset the data so we can do a better search. All right, let's just do a basic search and see everything. Again, here's the 694 platforms I talked about below, and they're all right here. If you want to view them all, you can view them all. If you just want to go to a specific letter, you can go there, or a specific page. But there is a lot of platforms. Let's jump into the first look, the 110 first look from iRobot. You may have seen this at our conference last week. A couple things to note on this product that you may not have seen in other ones is endurance and endurance comments. We capture as many comments as possible. We try to create a searchable variable whenever possible on the robot, and endurance is one of those searchable variables. But if there's more information we think is useful to you and may make a better decision when searching, we put that in the comment side. So this robot has 6 hours of endurance, but if it's stationary, it has an endurance of up to 10 hours. We also have a lot of information here on other platform properties. Not all this information is searchable, but it's still useful, and we still capture it. So control, communications, camera equipment, attachments. And finally, one other area that we're pretty excited about is contract status, or status of various things like contracts, maturity, any big events that happen with the product. That's an area we'll be regularly updating. This will help you understand the maturity of the product. We'll capture any sales that's possibly there. We're not collecting sales on every platform independently. Much of that information is proprietary and, frankly, unobtainable from public means. But we're adding any information we do find. So this product had a big number of sales. This actually happened on March 6th. So we captured that information and put it there so you have access to it. As another example, the Triton just had a $27 million contract, so we'll be adding that into that. So you'll get a status update about a new contract set up with that country. As we regularly update these active platforms, you'll also see down here when we updated the information last, and that way you'll know exactly how recent the data is. So that's ground. Let's hop over to maritime. So maritime, again, is basically the same. You can limit to USV, UUV, or ROV. If we do a basic search here, there's one platform I'd like to specifically highlight. Again, here's this 742. You can not only go by name, but you can just go by number if you just want to move forward a page. There's 25 of these per page. I want to point out active, the AUVSI continuous track and trail unmanned vessel. This isn't really a robot necessarily. It's a new DARPA program. Well, it's been around for a couple years, but it's a DARPA program. We want to capture this information because we think it's important to you to know if there's a new program out there and this is the base concept. If multiple robots come out of this program, as happens sometimes, we'll put all those details in as new platforms. If just one platform comes out of it and keeps the same name, then we'll just update that information on that specific platform. Another great example of that is the Knifefish system, which was just added in the directory. And previously in the directory, it was the SMCM UUV Increment 3, but now it just got a really cool sounding name, so we changed it to have that cool name. If we do an advanced platform search here, again, you'll see slightly different setups than with ground and air. Endurance is obviously very important here. There's some auto functions that's specific for ROVs about pitch, roll speed, altitude, depth. An ROV is remotely controlled, but there's a lot of automation that goes into it that makes it a lot easier to control. And again, energy source and propulsion, you've probably seen, you remember that information from before. So that's the basic of the product as it is online. There's one other major feature, which I think is very important that I'd like to highlight, and that's regular updates. Once you subscribe, you could download all this information as I talked. So here from Maritime, if you like, you can click Select All and download all the information. You can print it out, and you basically have a printed directory. This information in this directory is unparalleled. There's a couple other items out there, or products out there, but this is several times larger than anything you'll see anywhere. And that's why I highlight these numbers, just so you have this information. Additionally, we've added the ability to search on a variety of criteria, which makes us much more user-friendly. We think this web interface is very useful. And you can also download all the information to Excel, which is also useful. We spent several years collecting this information, and all the platforms we have on here, as I talked before, we're going to be continually updating that. So you know the information isn't stale. It isn't 6 or 12 months old. It's always updated. And finally, we attend about 30 trade shows a year. We collect information on all types of new platforms. We do regular web searches, and we have a whole lot of Google alerts that we go through on a daily basis to capture new information to put into the directory. We update that data as quickly as possible. It'll show up online immediately. For instance, let me just show one cool robot that wasn't here yesterday. There was a company that exhibited at our show that I'd never heard of called, I believe it's called Robotics. And this data wasn't here yesterday. We collected a lot of information from the show, and we just added them. So everybody who's already subscribed will receive an email saying this platform's new, and so they'll have access to it. We collected all their information again, and we added in yesterday and part of it this morning. Every week, basically, when you get these emails, they come every Tuesday. You'll get up to speed on all the new products in the market and whatever's in development. Just pulling what we've done so far this week, we've got 31 updates and 73 new platforms. And so you'll get that in a nice email. Truth be told, though, looking at Avatar and robotics, we got about 18 inches stacked up of new robot information. So it's going to take a couple weeks for the AUVSI show for us to get all of that information in there. But you'll see week to week every single bit of new information we put in. We'll also be at DSEI next month. I expect a couple of new platforms from that show. And two of us are going over to Tokyo for IDEX and IROS in November. I've never been to IDEX, but I hear it's huge. And I'm pretty excited about the potential of a lot of brand new platforms there. Additionally, as we add new features, you'll see them here as what comes new, and we'll highlight those in the weekly email, so you won't be surprised by anything new. At least you'll be pleasantly surprised, and you'll have immediate access to that new information. And that leads me into the final thing I want to highlight for the show, and that's new features we are currently actively working on. First is platform status. You may have seen that for a couple of platforms. I believe we might have that for those new robotics. Let's see if that's in there right there. There it is. Production status is active. This is a flag. It's active or inactive that shows whether the product is being actively marketed by the organization or has been noted as being in use in the last 12 months. You saw this guy have this flags. We're still confirming this with every platform that we have, so it's not a searchable variable, but as soon as we are confident in all that data and it's complete, we'll make that a searchable variable. So expect that in the next month or so. Second feature we're working on is company information. Right now, the only information you see is the company name and a link again to that specific platform website, not necessarily just the company website, and only if it's available. Other information that will soon be available, assuming the information is available online, is a link to the company website, a status flag similar to the platform status, which shows whether the company is actively marketing robotics products, and the company size, either small, medium, or large. And we base that data through an agreement with Hoovers. They provide a lot of good detailed company information and are worth checking out. But in the directory, all we're highlighting is whether they're a small, medium, or large company. We believe that may help you in your searches as collecting information. Finally, expect to see a lot of little changes, especially based off your feedback. For instance, right now, a couple of the fields in the Excel file, here's platform length. You'll note meters, millimeters, and feet are all in the same field. We'll be breaking that down into 3 different fields to make it easily searchable. There's a couple formatting changes in the PDFs that we're going to make items read easier. And any other information or feedback that you give us that we think is great for the product, we'll input that as soon as possible. Again, this product is meant to serve the community, so your feedback and your information that you have is vital and is greatly appreciated. So that is the product and the background. That's the main things I have. I have some availability to answer questions. Let's see if we can pull that up. I believe I have to stop sharing my screen in order to see that information. So if you just type in chat either directly to me or in Q&A to everyone, I can answer your questions. There's a question about whether we are capturing robotic components such as manipulators and effectors. I'd also lump into that sensors and all the different parts from suppliers. When we look at a specific robot, if some of that information is there on the robot, we capture that. That's a text field. We're not capturing specific suppliers right now. We believe that market is about 2 to 3 times the size of just the platform manufacturers, and it's taken us a long time just to capture these 4,000 platforms. So once we see the exact value of this product to the community, we'll likely go down that path and capture anything. Are there any other questions? All right, well, that is all I have. Oh, here's okay, so here's a great question about contacts, leads, and prospects. AUVSI has a policy of not sharing our membership data, and everything we've captured here is independent of what you've shared with AUVSI as far as your attendees or if you're a corporate member and all that information. However, we're very, very conscious about keeping people's privacy and that information private. So we're not sharing exactly the company head contact information or the leads specifically within a company. But we do give the company website. So if you're interested in that website, you can click to that website, and there should be a basic contact information there. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you for your time. Again, my name is Chris Maley. You can reach me at cmaley@auvsi.org or at 571-255-7768. Thank you very much.